I recently asked more than 300 CEOs in the Forbes Global 2000 what they believe is the new DNA for successful enterprises. I'm about to share with you some of the surprising differences between CEOs in Australia and New Zealand compared to the rest of the world. We discovered the most striking transformation driver impacting organisations is accelerating technology and digital innovation, something that was consistent globally. But here's where it gets interesting. CEOs in Australia and New Zealand show quite a marked difference compared to their global counterparts in some of the changes they're choosing to prioritise in response. Our CEOs believe that in order to thrive in this new environment, they must evolve their company's DNA to be human-centred, purpose-driven, and focused on trust at all levels. Let's start with human-centred decision-making. Business transformation will fall short if it fails to address the human needs of customers, employees, and other stakeholders. Human-centric factors such as leadership and purpose are rated more highly and consistently appear in the top 3 areas for change from CEOs in our region. Next, the key human dimensions of culture and purpose. They can catalyse transformation or impede it. 37% of Australian and New Zealand CEOs identified this as a priority in the next 3 years, compared to only 17% globally. Did Australia and New Zealand's response to the pandemic demonstrate the value of purpose in driving transformation? Was this a real-life example of how humans at the centre can drive agility in the face of urgency? Or perhaps there was something driving transformation in culture and purpose in this region before the pandemic. In addition, establishing stakeholder trust is an increasingly vital part of the CEO's role. A strongly held view of 66% of respondents in Australia and New Zealand versus 30% globally. CEOs in Australia and New Zealand believe that shared purpose and values will attract the organisation's highest value customers. 51% feel that this is a very likely future scenario within the next 5 years versus 38% globally. By far, the most important leadership characteristic of a CEO in Australia and New Zealand is driving a transformative mindset of being open to change across the company to bring the organisation along. According to our respondents, 57% felt this was important, in contrast to 44% globally. I wonder if the focus on this leadership attribute is driven by something unique to this region. So the emphasis is on human-centric leadership, driven by purpose and trust. What does that tell us? Do these results mean Australia and New Zealand are ahead of our global counterparts? Are we ahead at reframing our futures with humans at the centre? Does it perhaps indicate that the current climate of public scrutiny in leadership appointments and behaviours has elevated this on our agendas? Does that ring true with you? I'm keen to hear your perspective.